For those of you that don't know, I'm Maggie, and if my voice sounds a little bit weird, a little bit scratchy, or kind of like all over the place, it's because I'm overcoming a cold, but I'm feeling a lot better, and so I wanted to talk to you all about one of my very favorite brands, Paula's Choice. Now, in the past, I've gone on and on about how much I love their cleansers. I feel like they are far and away better than a lot that's out there on the market. They're kind of like a one-step. They remove your makeup, they cleanse, they do a good job hydrating so they don't leave your skin feeling really stripped. But then I was like, Maggie, you've tried so many products from this line over the year. Why don't you just do one big review about all of the Paula's Choice products that you've tried? So I did. So I have my big old notepad of notes here, and I wanted to split this video up into 3 different sections. So the first category is the one that I feel like I've talked the most about, and that happens to be cleansers. Now I want to read to you a couple of claims about this product. It says that this is a daily cleanser that helps balance moisture, removes makeup impurities and oil. It's an anti-aging, pore reducing cleanser, and for me, I absolutely love the pump style. This is something that's not only unique to Paula's Choice products, obviously, but this is one reason why this is the one that I gravitate toward from her line. The good thing about these cleansers is how they remove makeup so wonderfully. Now I know this because when I go in afterwards with a toner that we'll talk about later, I don't have a lot of residue on a cotton pad, and so I just feel like this does such a great job. You don't have to buy a separate makeup remover. It's a one-step thing that doesn't leave your face feeling super dry. So what I really like about this cleanser specifically is that it's a foaming cleanser, and I feel like foaming cleansers do a really good job of interacting well with different facial tools. So like I use a Clarisonic to wash my face at night. If you love foaming formulas, if you also have a facial tool and you're really into that anti-aging kind of benefit from your skincare, I would highly recommend this. But there are 2 other cleansers that I don't have with me physically, but I have used many times in the past. And one of those is the Skin Balancing Oil Reducing Cleanser. Now, Skin Balancing is another one of her lines, and so it's really good for those of you that have acne-prone skin because it does a really good job of kind of removing excess oils and trying to keep your acne at bay. Some claims on this cleanser are that it removes makeup, excess oil, and impurities while also soothing your skin. For me, this is great for the summertime when I'm really oily. In the wintertime, I honestly need a lot more moisturizing products. I don't necessarily need my cleansers to be stripping me of oils because I need to hang on to every last one of them. But this is the cleanser that my mom actually got me started on way back in the day, like 7th grade. I still stand by this cleanser. It's not a super foaming cleanser, but it is a cream cleanser. It comes out white. All that to say, if you are more acne prone or you do battle with oily skin, her Skin Balancing Oil Reducing Cleanser is definitely the one that you should try out. Okay, and the last cleanser that I've tried is definitely not the only other cleanser available. Just remember, I'm only talking about products that I've known and loved from her line. This one is the Hydrating Gel to Cream Cleanser. This one also retails for 18 bucks, and its claims are that it removes dirt and oil and makeup. It rinses away skin damaging pollutants that can cause premature signs of aging. So if you like a gel to cream feel, then this one is the one for you. I would most closely relate it to that Skin Balancing Oil Reducing Cleanser. It definitely doesn't foam up like this Resist Foaming Cleanser, but it does have a really nice formula. I want to take some time to compare these cleansers to some other ones that I've definitely put to the test. These are the other 2 cleansers that I have living in my shower right now. I have the CeraVe or CeraVe, not totally sure on that pronunciation, Hydrating Facial Cleanser for normal to dry skin. And then I also have this newer one that's the CeraVe Renewing SA Cleanser, aka Salicylic Acid Cleanser. So this is one that's really good for your acne prone skin. So I feel like this one is supposed to be more closely related to Paula's Gel to Cream Hydrating Cleanser, and this one is supposed to be more closely related to her Skin Balancing Oil Reducing Cleanser. Now my beef with both of these is that they do a really good job just basically cleansing your skin without stripping it, which is a great quality about both of them. But they do not remove makeup, so you must take that extra step to use a makeup wipe or use some sort of makeup remover if you're going to use these to take your makeup off at the end of the day. So this is totally fine if you don't wear a lot of makeup, but if you do, I would just default to Paula's Choice cleansers. Last up in this category is her makeup remover. Now, in full disclosure, I do not necessarily use makeup remover all that often. I don't feel like I need to with her cleansers because they do such a good job. Have I harped on that enough? I don't know. This one came free with my last order if you spent like over 50 bucks. Some of its claims are that it's a dual phase solution that removes all types of makeup. It has soothing ingredients and will not leave an oily, drying feeling on your skin. I totally agree with that. I do have a non-oil based makeup remover just from Target that's super cheap in my bathroom right now. And compared to that, this really does not leave any sort of residue, which is really, really nice. Even though that one is marketed as oil-free, it definitely does leave an oily film on my face. So I do prefer using this Paula's Choice makeup remover when necessary. This retails for $16, which I totally understand is pretty expensive for a makeup remover. A lot of people swear by using coconut oils or even those cheaper ones that you can find at Target. So I would not say that her makeup remover necessarily is a must, but maybe you're a super picky makeup remover person or you really hate that oily feeling, then this one definitely is a good option. So category 2 might be my favorite I don't know, I really love all of these products, but if you've been watching my videos for a little bit, you know that I really love skincare that works overnight and you see results like immediately. Those typically come from like chemical exfoliants or different things that just like shed those layers of skin and reduce your pore size, and her products are top notch in this category. So we are talking about toners, exfoliants, and boosters. Okay, first up is her toner, and this is one that's a little bit newer to me. I've been trying this out for about a month, and typically I am somebody that wants their toner to be kind of what I described earlier. Astringent, I want it to kind of tingle a little bit. I want to know that it's really impacting my skin. But when I took the quiz about my skincare needs, I actually was recommended this advanced replenishing toner with hyaluronic acid because I was kind of in the market for changing up my skincare routine to suit the winter needs of my skin, and that is giving back to it, hydrating it, and making sure that it's in good shape because my skin does tend to dry out pretty dramatically in the winter. Some claims on this toner are that it replenishes and revitalizes skin. It has omega fatty acids and antioxidants. It has a smooth, milky texture. It improves signs of sun damage over time. It visibly reduces wrinkles and firm skin, and it is super hydrating. Now, honestly, I would agree with a lot of these claims. This is the perfect toner if you hop out of the shower and you're like, oh, all of a sudden my face is feeling a little bit dry. You can just put this toner on and your face will feel pretty moisturized and refreshed. Just as it described, it really does improve signs of sun damage. I had some like little sunspots near my face, and I do feel like that those have kind of lessened over time. I don't have a lot of wrinkles, so I can't say that I think that it's like visibly reduced wrinkles or firmed my skin just because that's not a need of mine right now. But I will say that it is super hydrating. So if you have extremely dry skin and you're looking for a toner that won't dry you out, that's not like acid based, this is definitely the one that you should go for. And this retails for $24. Okay. So the next product I think might be my favorite Paula's Choice product of all time. I know, even above the cleansers, it's crazy, but this is the 2% BHA exfoliant. This comes in 2 different formats, and this is her old packaging. This is the more updated packaging, but this comes in a gel, and this also comes in a liquid. Now for me, I find that they both work effectively. They both do exactly what they say they'll do, and let me tell you a little bit about what that is and then which format I prefer. So her 2% BHA exfoliant, it retails for $29.50, and this is her #1 selling product. It's a leave-on salicylic acid exfoliant that unclogs your pores, smooths wrinkles, brightens, evens out your skin tone, and minimizes pores. The BHA sheds built-up layers of skin, and it absorbs quickly, and you apply this after both cleansing and then toning. That's why I was really comfortable going with more of a moisturizing toner, because I knew that this exfoliant could get in and do what it needed to do after that. How do you decide between getting a gel or a liquid? And this is completely personal preference. For me, I think I actually prefer the gel, and that's only because I can eliminate waste. With the liquid, I feel the need to use some sort of like cotton pad to spread it around. You definitely don't have to do that. You could probably just shake some of this in your hands and pat it on your skin and it would be just as effective, but it says to apply this with some sort of cotton pad, and so I don't know. That's why I kind of prefer the gel, because you use just one pump, so this thing lasts you forever, and it just nicely sinks into the skin, and then I can just kind of rinse my hands off. The gel is what I've used for most of my life. I ended up picking up the liquid version because this was available for super cheap in like a FabFitFun add-ons one time. I think that they both work very effectively. The format truly does not affect affect how this thing performs on my skin. The thing about this is it so clearly reduces your pore size and evens out your skin tone. I've never used a product that is as good as this, and this is something that I use every other night without fail. I travel with this. I never go without this because this does such a good job of really shedding off those extra layers of dead skin, helping prevent acne that could crop up over time. I mean, this is just the absolute best. Okay, so another product that I don't have physically with me because I've already run out of it and I've only purchased it once is the BHA 9 treatment. So the exfoliant that we just talked about is a 2% treatment. The BHA 9 treatment is a 9% treatment. So just think like the super amped up version of that exfoliant. It is a concentrated leave-on treatment to improve the appearance of enlarged pores, clogged pores, and bumps. It really diminishes those hard white bumps, and it also does not cause dryness in the process. I got this because when I get acne, I do not get your typical acne. I don't know when my skin changed to incorporate this, but I'm typically only dealing with these really hard white bumps that I have to like squeeze out of my pore. It's not something that you can just, I don't know, put your typical acne cream on and you're fine. No, they are so stubborn. I do think that this is good, and it did a pretty good job of actually preventing more white bumps to pop up, but I did not feel like it was effective in actually like diminishing the existing hard white bumps, if that makes any sense. The thing is, I don't think I would purchase this again. I would stick with the 2% exfoliant and just be super diligent in how you use it. And last but not least in this category is a booster. Now, I had never really heard the term booster until I saw it on Paula's website, and so I don't know if these are like unique to her or if maybe they're just called serums or something else with other people's skincare lines. But this is the 10% Azelaic acid booster. I do not know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this is really good if you just have some stubborn skin. This is supposed to clarify, tone, and target stubborn spots, soothe irritation. It's a very lightweight cream texture, and it smooths your bumpy texture and helps fade breakout marks. That is why I initially got this, is because where I had like taken those really hard bumps out of my face, sometimes it tends to leave a little bit of scarring, and so I was kind of in it for that like kind of like Mederma effect to decrease those like breakout marks basically. But I also wanted this to smooth bumpy texture. Like I said, I had those like white bumps kind of all over, and I would notice in the summer kind of my forehead would have a lot of texture just from the oils, and maybe I wasn't exfoliating enough, and I feel like this did a pretty good job for that. But again, I think just being super diligent with exfoliants, both chemical and physical, and rotating them appropriately, it was truly the best way to heal my skin. So I don't feel the need to repurchase this booster. This retails for $36, and I just feel like once I found that perfect combo of physical exfoliation from my favorite facial scrubs and then being diligent about my chemical exfoliation every other day, that really solved a lot of my issues. So last but not least are moisturizers and SPFs. So the first thing that I want to start with is one that I think I've been enjoying the most, and that is again from her Resist line, just like the foaming cleanser, and that is the Paula's Choice Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense. It has broad spectrum SPF 30 with antioxidants and resveratrol. It's a silky lotion that mattifies with a sheer natural tint for all skin tones, and it helps prevent UV damage and signs of aging. When I first heard that this was a tinted moisturizer, it kind of turned me off, and I don't know why, because I really love using super light coverage products like BB creams and CC creams, but I was like, what? How do you have a tinted moisturizer that fits all skin tones? Somehow this does a pretty good job. I will say that it does not provide a ton of coverage, so when you put this on, don't think that this can be the only product that you use unless you just have really good skin and you feel like you don't need to cover up any unevenness or anything. This, I think, acts as a really wonderful primer and SPF all in one. The reason I think it does that is because it does have this matte finish that it mentions, and so I think it just does a really good job of holding on to whatever the next layer is. So for me, I will cleanse my skin, I'll tone my skin, and then I'll put on some sort of a moisturizer or oil, and then I put the SPF on top as like the last step of skincare. Then on top of that goes my makeup, just so that you know where this falls in the order. Now I have a note here that says definitely use this as your last step and don't rely on this to be a moisturizer. Think of this again as a primer and SPF in one. You definitely need a layer of moisture, especially if you have dry skin. I just wanted to make that clear because I made that mistake the first time I used it and my skin looked really dry. Didn't want you to make my same mistake. Next up is this Skin Recovery, that's the line that it comes from, Replenishing Moisturizer with Hyaluronic Acid and Peptides. This is a nourishing cream that delivers instant and lasting hydration. It smooths wrinkles and returns radiance to dry, dull skin. Now it even notes on these bottles, I probably should have been pointing that out along the way, what type of skin each product is made for. This is for dry or very dry skin. I was looking for a good alternative to my favorite Origins moisturizer. Basically, that moisturizer is super duper creamy and luxe. A little goes a long way. It is super heavy duty, and it's one of those that you wake up and your face just looks so plump and healthy and like shiny in the best way. So I was really hoping that this would have all those qualities. I even read about like what type of formula this was. I was just looking for her creamiest, most luxurious formula. And this is described that way. It says it preserves your moisture content. It has antioxidants and plant oils that restore radiance. It's a luxurious, creamy texture. It's used at nighttime. With this, truly, please heed my warning, a little goes a long way. I was totally overusing this the first time, and it would get to the point where you're just like continually spreading the product on top of itself, and it wasn't sinking in because I had just way too much. Be really careful when you squeeze this out. I do think that the packaging is a little bit tricky to control, and I do think that this has a very, very similar texture to the Origins moisturizer. I nailed it in that department. But I don't wake up the next morning and feel like this looks as plumping and as oily in a good way. I don't know how else to describe that. So you don't get those effects, but overall my skin feels extremely healthy. It's probably just not overdoing it. I bet that the Origins one has more of an oil mixed into it, to be quite honest, that this one just doesn't have. But this really is a good alternative, and it's a little bit cheaper. This retails for $29, and that Origins moisturizer that I love is like $46 or $43, and it comes with a fragrance. All of her products are fragrance free, which is really nice. So if you are really irritated, it's not going to increase that redness in your face. If you love that Origins moisturizer as well and you're looking for a cheaper alternative, I would definitely give this a shot. I've really enjoyed using this, and I think that it really is just perfect for the winter months. And last but not least is just a pure SPF. This is for all over your body, and this is her Extra Care Non-Greasy Sunscreen with Broad Spectrum SPF 50. It's for your face and body, which is really nice. And because she specializes in skincare, I can actually really trust that claim, but this one apparently you can use for both. It's water resistant for up to 80 minutes, and it's a silky lotion that sets to a soft matte finish. It's ideal for sports and outdoors activities, which means that it's pretty good if you're sweating and stuff like that. This I really do like. It really applies much more like a lotion rather than a greasy sunscreen, so you can feel comfortable wearing this on a daily basis. And I feel like a lot of us forget to wear sunscreen if we're going to be outside for prolonged periods of time and we're not going to like the beach. This is just a really easy way to do it without feeling gross, without smelling like sunscreen. It does a really good job with that. Any like matte finish sunscreens always leave my hands feeling weird, and this is no exception. It's one of those where like after I put it on, it can almost feel a little bit chalky on my hands, but that's really my only qualm with this. I think it did a really good job. This retails for $17, so it definitely is a little bit pricier than sunscreens that you're gonna find at Walmart or at Target or something during the summer, but I just think that it's worth it. And we have officially made it through every Paula's Choice product that I've ever owned. And I think my voice is about to give out, so we're gonna wrap this up quickly, but hopefully this was really insightful and that you learned about some products from this line that maybe you haven't heard of before, that maybe will save you some money on some of those like mainstays in your existing skincare routine. This really is good, high quality, trustworthy stuff. So if you liked this video, then like it. I'll have everything that I mentioned linked down in the description box below. And what's really cool is that you can purchase most of her stuff on Amazon for the exact retail price on her site. So if you want something quickly, you can get 2-day shipping on that. So I'll be sure to link all of this also in my Amazon storefront under a separate like Paula's Choice list. So if you like this video, then like it. Stick around, subscribe, join the community, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.